As the workplace evolves, what wellness trends, AI, mindfulness, coaching trends, just as some examples, do you see managers needing to get ahead of in the future?
I really like mindfulness because it helps you be in the present, and it goes against the way our brains developed, right? That we have this ancient brain in our heads that reacts very quickly and reacts to somebody bumping into you on the subway the same way that it would if you see a tiger. Um, Mindfulness helps you take a break in between your reaction, the perceived threat and your action, and it enables you to choose how you want to behave. So I just
Instead
think
of react.
mindfulness is exactly that's a big one. And the whole AI. I agree. I love AI. I think it's fantastic. And yes, there's going to be problems with it. I think that also goes to change, like being adaptive, learning to embrace change, knowing that it can be a powerful force, even though it may be something you're afraid of.
And do you have on the mindfulness front, do you want to maybe share a practice?
Sure. There's one that's called finger holding, okay, where you have both hands and you hold on to one finger at a time. You take deep breaths and you go until you feel the pulsing in your hand. So you're not squeezing your hand, but just placing it there lightly. And you go finger to finger. And this helps you stay in the moment because you're focused on the pulsing in your fingers.
Hmm.
What I like about it is that you can also do it under your desk so nobody can see you.
Well, also, like, even if they could see you, it doesn't really look like anything that's really going on.
That's true. And so you're incorporating the deep breaths, making yourself, your nervous system slow down a little bit, and also keeping yourself busy. When you're anxious, it's important to stay focused. And so stay focused on the task at hand.
Yeah, that seems to me like that would come across as far less nervous than like the rubber band snapping that some people
Yeah.
do. And I don't think that was for mindfulness. I think there's another reason why they do that. Like that is a technique, but I think it's
Hmm.
for something else. But that can come off as like you're nervous. It looks like
Definitely.
fidgeting, but
Yes.
like this doesn't look like fidgeting.
Right. Another technique that I love is called savoring. So, really being present and realizing how much you're enjoying something like food, like not just gobbling it, but really saying, oh, I'm really enjoying this. Or recently I had a book that I was savoring. Uh, um,
And
and
what's that book? That's the book title we want to know. We always are
there,
looking for savoring books.
there's a book called What Matters Most, and it was written by Diane Button, and she's a death doula. And she's spoken to lots of people who are facing death and really trying to understand, what makes people think they've had a good life. And so I'm
I think
taking
my
all those
mother-in-law's book
lessons.
club read that and she really liked it too.
Really, it's amazing. It's very simple but hard. Connection, be kind, don't hold grudges. So that is a book that I'm savoring. And every chapter I read, I start thinking about it for myself. How does this impact me, and what could I do to be um, even more effective at this?
All right. If you could give one piece of advice to a manager today who is feeling overwhelmed and wants to start making wellness changes, what small step would you encourage?
I like breathing techniques, really trying to slow down the physical uh, aspects of anxiety as well as being present to mental aspects of anxiety, breathing.
I think that's a good one. I I mean, I don't know if it's considered a small step. I think I would go with the exercise.
Okay.
Just because I feel like if you can incorporate that in, it has such a cascading effect, including on like your rumination,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because of, like when you are doing an activity that is just exercising, like it doesn't have to be strenuous. It kind of gives you a chance for your brain to quiet down. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
how else to explain other than it's a type of meditation. But it's a
Yes.
type of meditation that I can get to because if I just try to meditate, and I think a lot of people have this problem, if I try to meditate, it's like every other thought comes in.
Yep.
But if I have two ways to get there. If I dive into somebody else's world with a fictional book, like my own life quiets down, or if I exercise my own life, like the brain quiets down.
It is a great way. I worry about how hard it is to get started on that. So I like to go really simple.
Yep. Yeah, yours is very, very simple.
Yes.
I think mine is simple if you take it from the standpoint of it doesn't have to be large doses and it just needs to be something that you're enjoying.
Exactly.
You know,
That you're
I go
having
out,
fun. Mhm.
I just had my niece, one of my nieces here, and she's young, and we did all sorts of things. Like we went to the rodeo, we did all sorts of things. Uh, but like all of our favorite moment was going out and taking peanuts and feeding the squirrels, which I'm probably like legally in trouble for that. But I love feeding squirrels, and like you're getting out, you're interacting with like nature, you're getting in some exercise. I converted a bunch of children at the park into squirrel lovers because when they would chase them, I'd be like, no, 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 here, have some peanuts. And so I had all the kids around, and we were all feeding the squirrels peanuts, and the squirrels were like, y'all are all right.
And what a great example of mindfulness, right? Because you have to be in the present right there to feed the squirrels. You can't be thinking about anything else, unless you'll have squirrels all over you
Yeah, that's
wanting to
true.
get your peanuts. So being in the moment, I love it.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's good. That's a good point. All right, Belinda, thank you so much for joining us today, and look forward to talking to you in the future. And how can people reach you?
Oh, I have a website, www.belindablock.com, obvious. And there's some quick leadership lessons, little videos, 1-minute videos that can be very helpful. It gives my nuggets of coaching advice quickly and easily. So check out my website.
All right. Thanks for joining us today. I really appreciate you coming on the podcast and have enjoyed talking to you.
My pleasure.
And if you feel like you got something out of this episode, give us a like and hopefully you subscribe. Do it for us. Thank you.